Hello all. It is March, and as you can see, I have my green hat, I have my leprechaun, and some fun things up in the background for St. Patrick's Day. Well, St. Patrick's Day is over, and it's time to get ready for Easter. So what I wanted to do is show you a little bit about my classroom, how I set it up, and what it looks like when I switch it over to the next season. Okay, so this background, this red, I put up for Chinese New Year, and I have now used it for 3 holidays. I used it for Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day, and then I left it up because it was sparkly and used it for St. Patrick's Day. I will be taking the red down and putting up something else for spring. But when you are in my classroom, you see from this sign to the bottom of the leprechaun. And that is about all you see. So if I turn the camera a little, you can see some of what's going on over here. If I turn the camera this way, you can see the containers that I store all of my props in. So, I want to tell you what is going on behind me. But first of all, I am in my bedroom. This is my bedroom. Right there is my bed. I'm not going to show it to you, but right there is my bed. And I teach at the very bottom of my bed. I am sitting in my chair, and I have my makeup table as my desk. It's a small table, very easy to use. I have my stand for my tablet, and I put my stand up there, and I just teach right here, right next to my bed. So I'm going to reach out and touch my bed so you can see just how close I am. I'm touching my bed. That's how close I am. So it's a small room, but I make it work. And so small areas can work. The important thing is to be very creative. So let me show you some of the things I have done to give myself some extra space for all of the teaching things. Because I have a lot of props. I like to have a lot of things in the background. I like to do a lot of things with my students. So I need somewhere to keep all of that when I'm just an arm's reach from my bed and still have a bedroom that can be used. First thing, I have 3 pieces of furniture in my classroom area. The first one is the makeup table, which I've already told you about. And there are a couple drawers. There are 2 drawers in the makeup table. They are small drawers because this is an old antique table and it's a small one. The other thing is I have my chair. Now, I have to sit in this chair quite a bit, so I have a very nice, expensive chair. This is where I paid the money, okay? This is where all the money went. This and my technology. So, the other thing I have is I have a wardrobe behind me. This is a picture of what the wardrobe is. I actually have a second one, so this is it right here. This is my wardrobe, and that is what is actually behind me here. So I have this area right here that I use as my background, and then I have the open shelves that I use for all of my props to go. So let me set this over there. All right. So all of my props, sorry about my finger, all of my props go in these baskets over here on the open shelves. And the part that would hang things, it is behind this, my background. So my wardrobe is against the wall, and then I use this wall as well, so I have 2 sides for my background. And then I have the table coming out just like the wardrobe does right next to my door. So space-wise, I'm thinking I probably have 3 feet, 3 feet wide, maybe 4, and about 5 feet long. And that is my teaching space. So what I do behind here is I actually keep, behind this, I keep some storage that I don't use during class. Things that I can get out before class, put away after class. In the open shelving, these are all things that I might use during class. Now, I got this portable wardrobe very inexpensively. I want to say I paid $25 for it maybe. And then I got these at the dollar store. Actually, this little basket right here. So I have this inside of this. It's really easy. I just put all of my props in it just like that. Now this is a little out of sorts right now because I just finished teaching, so I still have props out. Okay, so usually I have like one, and it will have things like my tiaras and headpieces and things like that. Okay, then I will have another. Let me put that back on the shelf. The other one will have all of my stuffed animals, and I have lots of stuffed animals. Here, I'm going to borrow this one, and I'll just move them over. I'll resort after this video. All right, so all of my stuffed animals go into one, if possible. I have lots of stuffed animals, so sometimes it overflows. All right, so then, oh, and I also have stuffed food. I use anything that I think we can use in class. If I teach the word French fries, or if I teach the word chips, see how I did that? Either way, it works. So I do that. Then I have another one of these that has my puppets in it. All of my puppets go in one. That one's actually down there, but I have a few puppets running around. So I have all of my puppets, my finger puppets, all inside of one of these. Okay? And then I have another one of these, and it will have things like my, we're going to call them my hard toys, okay? So like my plastic dinosaurs, my my porg, which I use as a penguin quite a bit in class. I have a little pumpkin craft that my daughter did, and so I use that for pumpkin. I use all sorts of different crafts. I have a little plastic unicorn. If I want to use it as a horse, I just hold it by the horn. They never see it. Look, a little horse. So it's really easy to do. I also have a bigger horse. My daughter painted this one. So I use a lot of crafts that my daughter will do because, one, my daughter loves crafts, and two, my daughter likes to be involved with my teaching as much as she can. Now, I cannot have her on camera all the time. There are a couple students that know I have a daughter and they like to see her. If I have extra time, they like to talk to her, things like that. But for the most part, I keep my daughter off camera. So the way she can participate is by helping me make some crafts that I use as props during class. Such as coloring in little things to hang up, things like that. So when I switch out my background, I will be switching out to Easter to start with. And she has already made me some Easter crafts. She's made me a little rabbit that I'll hang up. And they're simple little crafts. It takes her just a few minutes. They look good on the backdrop. So all of my props will go in over here. My backdrop goes on the front of this. What I keep inside of here is on the rod, I hang things like this. This is, that's a scarf from the dollar store. Okay, so I have scarves from the dollar store, blue scarves. And what that does is when I have a blue shirt and I want it to look different than the last time I wore it, I tie a scarf on and now I have a different blue outfit. So it just helps update my clothing some. So I keep those on the rod inside there, and then I keep some books and things that I use for activities down in the bottom. So I try and use my props different ways, and I try and keep them as close to hand as possible, and that way I don't have to go through every single lesson and go, okay, I'll use this prop and this prop and this prop and this prop. I look at the lessons, I have an idea of what I might want to use, and it's all within reach. So I just grab it during class. And that way, if I didn't think about using the lion, but I decide to use the lion, he's just right here. My cute, adorable little lion is right here. So it's really easy to do. I like to keep my props handy. I have all sorts. And it's with this wardrobe and my desk, it's easy to sort them and keep track of where they're at.